Hey guys, this is Christian here. Today I'm going to be doing a live review slash discussion, if there even is one, on Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn, starring David Cornswit, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, uh, Nathan Fillion, and others. So yeah, this movie has a lot of characters. They have the whole Justice gang in here, which is what they're called in the movie. Like Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl are in this. And this is the story. This is not an origin story. This is a movie that has already established that Superman is Superman, and it's the whole new start of the DCU. The DCEU is no more Superman movies that have the same tone as a Batman movie. It's all going to be comic accurate stuff. I just found out my headphones are plugged in. Um, but yeah, no more of. Wait a minute, you guys heard me, right? He has heard me because my headphones are plugged in. But anyway, I digress. Um, Let me just double check real quick that I don't have to restart. Okay, good. All right. So the premise of this movie is Superman, a journalist in Metropolis, embarks on a journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent. All right, that's the and in the movie, Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult, he tries to turn the public against Superman, and that's what it says on the Wikipedia summary, and that happens in the movie, obviously. So going into this movie, this was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I was super excited to see this whole new start to the DCU. I was excited to see this new take on Superman. We've had so many takes on this character in the past, obviously with Christopher Reeve, arguably the best interpretation of Superman. We've also had Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, I think his name is, and we've obviously had the DCEU version with Henry Cavill. Man of Steel, I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's not a great movie. It's definitely not a great representation of what Superman is supposed to be. Like, Superman isn't supposed to be like a dark and gritty character, not the same as like Batman. A Batman and a Superman movie should never have the same tone, as I said earlier. Superman should be a hopeful movie. Batman should be the dark and gritty stuff. We should say that for Batman. One thing I love about this whole new DCU is that they're going to be doing that. They're going to have different tones for each movie. Like, they're not just going to be the same tone for each movie. Like, a Batman movie is not going to have a million jokes. It's not going to be like Thor: Love and Thunder. But yeah, the Clayface movie, they're making a horror movie. I think Mike Flanagan's working on that one. So yeah, this movie, I was really excited for it. And does it deliver? I'd say it does. James Gunn is 5 for 5 for superhero movies. Obviously, with the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy and the Suicide Squad both being amazing. And this one is also amazing. I do have my review on Letterboxd pulled up so I can talk about what I liked about it. I'll start with what I didn't like, because this section is going to be more brief. This movie is... How long is this movie? I think it's like 2 hours, 10 minutes. But I did have an issue with how 2 hours and 9 minutes is what they say on the AMC site. But I did have an issue with the pacing. When the movie starts, it doesn't stop. And they only have a couple scenes that actually slow down. We get to have more quiet dialogue scenes. So yeah, I wish most of it is just nonstop action. I wish we had a little more character. The character moments we got were great, but I do wish we got a little more. Also, we don't really see Clark. There's only 2 scenes with Clark Kent, and I wish we got more Clark Kent. Obviously, this is a Superman movie. There's going to be tons of Superman, and I'm glad we got tons of Superman. But I wish we got a good amount of Clark Kent, too. Clark Kent only has 2 scenes, and the rest of it is just a Superman, palooza. Yeah, these are just kind of nitpicks, to be honest. This movie also can feel a little overstuffed with characters because they bring in the whole Justice Gang. And I thought they were good. I especially liked Mr. Terrific. I thought he was cool. And Metamorpho. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure if they needed to be in this movie. And it would be a great film, nonetheless. But hey, we still got a great movie, but yeah. let me talk about performances. David Cornsweet, fantastic as Superman. Not as good as Christopher Reeve, but still amazing. I think he embodies the character so well. I mean, the costume design was amazing. The Superman suit. At first, I was a little iffy on it, but as I definitely got used to it. Rachel Brosnahan was great as Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult was phenomenal as Lex Luthor. Super despicable, an irredeemable villain. Amazing, an irredeemable villain. Like, no redeeming qualities whatsoever. He's just a hateable jerk. I think James Gunn likes writing villains that just have no redeeming qualities, because he did that with the High Evolutionary. I'd kind of argue he did that with Ego, even though, like, I mean, like, because he still did a lot of crappy things. So I do think he just loves writing these irredeemable monsters of villains. The villains in the Suicide Squad were super evil too. So yeah, and yeah, Crypto was adorable. I love Crypto. I loved like Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, I think his name is, played by Wendell Pierce. He was great. Again, the Justice Gang characters were good. Jonathan and Martha Kent were great. Yeah, all the characters I thought did their job. The visual effects were fantastic. None of them looked super noticeably bad or anything. And the score was amazing. Who was the composer for this movie? John Murphy and David Fleming. Yeah, they did an amazing job with the score. It was amazing. They also bring in Zlatko Buric from Triangle of Sadness is in this movie. As again, this is a spoiler discussion. So Zlatko Buric is in this movie as Vasyl Gurkos. He's the president. So in the movie, there's this country named Boravia that invades another country. I don't know. I don't remember the name of, although I could probably pull it up. Jaranpar is the other country. And so Boravia invaded Jaranpar. Superman actually stopped the invasion in the movie. This is like earlier, but there's like this whole conflict between the two countries. And if you know, you know, you can definitely make comparisons. And especially with Zlatko Buric, you can definitely compare him to a certain political leader outside of the country. And with Lex Luthor, you can definitely compare him to our president. But yeah, the story was great, and there were definitely a lot of like political like parallels that I was able to make. There are other movies like that where it's not like where you can like also make those parallels. Like with Wicked, you can make a lot of political parallels between those two. But here I definitely felt them. I remember going into this movie, James Gunn said that this was an immigrant story, and it kind of is. I don't think it's not like about like ICE or anything, but it's kind of about like, because Superman's an alien and he wasn't originally from Earth, but he's just as human as everyone else. So yeah, I do think they did kind of like comment on it, but it wasn't woke or anything. Well, it kind of was. But I don't complain about that stuff anymore, because most of the time it's stuff that needs to be brought to the light. But grifters, they'll complain about anything. Yeah, story was great. I thought it was funny. It had a lot of comedy, a lot of heart, and they didn't undercut any of the heartfelt moments with comedy or anything. So yeah, although that's like something that you have to compliment a movie for, because stuff like the Marvel movies love to undercut, or mainly Thor: Love and Thunder, they love to undercut the serious moments with comedic moments. But yeah. This movie was pretty fantastic overall. Amazing story, amazing characters, amazing acting, amazing visuals, amazing music. Aside from those small nitpicks I had, I love this movie. If I had to rank the James Gunn superhero films, the Holiday Special is not a movie, it's a special, but that's 6 for me. Number 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Then I'd say Superman's number 4, but that's still like I'll tell you my rating shortly. Number 3 would be The Suicide Squad, and then number 2 would be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And then my favorite James Gunn superhero movie is still the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Yeah, Superman's an amazing movie. Go see it. I'm going to give Superman a 9 out of 10. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.